Hey everyone, so this is going to be hopefully like my basically spoiler-free review of Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and I'm just going to go through sort of some of my initial thoughts to the kind of premise that Sando has proposed with, you know, like his little short video of the first few chapters kind of thing. And I've done a little bit of a talk about it in my other video that you can go see that's more talking about how Branderson is like, what he's done within the publishing industry, which is just so incredibly interesting and so insane, and so that's really fun. But this will be really interesting. This is the third book to be released, and this is Sandy and Emily's favorite of all the 4 novels, and I'm really curious to find out why. I've also, from what I've heard, I know Hoyt is a coat rack, which is, it's so cool. You need to have, like, within your author career, you need at least one story that is narrated from the perspective of an inanimate object. Like, you know, it has to be done, and that is just so cool. And I really don't know how long that's gonna last. Like, how do you tell a story when that's the perspective? Like, how is he gonna get around that kind of thing? But it's so interesting because Hoyt is like, he's so powerful, but everyone loves him, and he's so like immortal within this world that he can just go into every single story, but he has too much power sort of thing. And how Sando has like taken away his agency sort of thing, that he can't help the characters within Tress and within this one too, it's really well done, but you still get all that narration, which is, it's just so much fun. But yeah, I think the world sounds really interesting, that it's got like all these beautiful colors, and like that we still have the modern sort of technologies and things like that. Like, I think, you know, when everyone asks you, what kind of world would you love to live in? You know, like what kind of place? I think this might be it. Like, this might be the world that I'd want to be in, because it's got those like rich colors, that rich sort of like, it's got spirits, it's got like nightmares and this supernatural element within your, like, you can paint away the nightmares, which is just, that's so cool. I love that. I love that that's sort of like an element of it. But yeah, I don't know, like it'll be interesting. I really don't know what to expect of like what's gonna happen with it. So yeah, those are my initial reactions. I'll be back with once I finish the story. Okay, so I have just finished reading Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. It was interesting. Brandon Sanderson, he always strikes me because he's, how do I put it? He's very formulaic, which you have to be when you produce so much work. Like, and all writing follows these formulas, like they all do. It's a little bit more noticeable, I suppose, in some of his works. But he's very good. He doesn't just follow the same formula every single time, which a lot of other well-known authors do. They have their formula and they follow that strictly every single time. He changes us up a little bit, but especially with these characters, I can just see it coming through so well. And he does it really well. Like Painter, you know, when you have characters, they have a want, a need, and then they have like a lie that they tell themselves. And so Painter's like, what is it? He's like, I'm a lone wolf. I don't need anybody. That's his like his want. That's who he like wants to be, and that's who he thinks he is. And that's sort of like, that goes into his lie. Like, he tells himself that like nobody likes him. He doesn't have any friends. Like, he has to be a lone wolf kind of thing. And then like in the first chapter, like Arcane, like she waves to him. Like, you have friends. You could have gone up to her. You could have talked to her. And like Design as well. You know, he goes to the cafe, and in, you know, books, there's usually a character who points it out to the main protagonist, like, this is your need, this is what the book is going to be about, this is your arc, and you will eventually come to this point. But to start off with, I'm just going to say it so plainly to you, that way, like, everyone knows that this is what you need. And Design is like, you need connections, like humans need connections. He needs people to care about and who care about him, and to let people in and that sort of thing. So and it's good, and it's not just with those friends, like it's deeply with Yumi. Yumi becomes that main connection, and they have basically this spiritual connection, which puts them into these other different worlds. But Yumi is the exact same. She has the want, which starts off with just, it's her want to go have one normal day. Like, she wants to go to this village and explore like the festival that's happening. She wants a singular normal day. That's her want. And her need is that, like, you know, you need more experiences than that. You need to have a human life. And that's the lie that she keeps telling herself. Her lie is that she is not human. She is this spiritual deity here to serve the people and to be her job, which is this spiritual being for everyone, and to have this connection with the spirits to help run their society and everything like that. And so she doesn't even see herself as a person with normal human desires and wants and needs and all those kind of things. And that's what she needs. Okay, so this probably wasn't my favorite just because of how repetitive and on the nose it was at times, of just like staring you blankly in the face. And like I have two gripes that aren't like, they're not really spoilers, okay? But they're like, you know, they're about the book. They're, I don't know. If you don't want to know anything about it, probably stop watching this. But so for most, like almost the whole thing, Yumi spends the time being known as his sister. So firstly, in the romance department, that doesn't really do it for me. That's a bit like, it's a bit weird. But it's, you know, it's okay. It's not too bad. There was romance in his other books too, which was good, like mostly Frugal Wizard. And I thought that was good. Like it was pretty decent. It was more about, I don't know, the setup of like the world in those ones too. But I don't know. I liked these, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter and Tress of the Emerald Sea were definitely my two favourites. I think that's been the consensus of most people who I've spoken to who've read them. And Sunlight Man was great, and so was Frugal Wizard. My main gripe with Frugal Wizard was that, like, you know, he was a guy who didn't know who he was. And I already know so many guys who are like, I don't know who I am. And it's just, I was like, not another one. Which is just, you know, yeah. But Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, yeah, it's so hard because I've been having so many different discussions with people that are like, you know, about like the state of AI and everything like that. And this definitely makes a lot of sort of like, not points about it, but just points about the art industry and like the artist kind of world. And you can use some of like the sayings within it to help with any kind of artistic debate, which was great. A lot of that was repeated like very repetitively, which I was like, nah. But still really good, and really good for like arguing that point. Like with AI, you know, it is about like art and everything like that is about portraying the human experience. And so an AI can't do that. It doesn't understand what the human experience is. And despite stealing so many art which portrays it beautifully, like so many Australian artists and authors have had their work stolen and put into the AI system without, you know, their consent or anything like that. And I had one of my professors, her poetry was put into that and everything like that. And she was like, okay, well, let's see what it's going to do. And she asked, you know, the AI system, ChatGPT, to write her a poem about the sun. And it was like, the sun is hot. And she was like, okay, can you write me a better one? And it was like, it is big and bright in the sky. And it wasn't, I don't even think it was that good. It was really dismal. And she was sort of like, okay, so it's not taking my job anytime soon. So that's sort of like, I don't know, it's got these very interesting debates about like art as portrayed to the human experience and how it sits inside your soul and like fits inside you as a part of your spirit, and like how it is so intrinsically connected to you, which was beautiful. It's such an ode to artist and the artistic experience, and that was beautiful, and it was nice. But yeah, so my other gripe with it is that, where was it? I have marked up this book. There is highlighting everywhere, but this bit was my second gripe, and it is possibly the most important. So towards the end, we get a costume change, and I was so keen for this. I was so ready. Like I grew up on Barbie. Like I was ready for this. I was ready for like cool dresses and stuff. And it says like, she stepped forward and commanded her nightgown to change. Black smoke swirled, and that's where it should have stopped. Like it was literally right there. And Yumi could have had this dress made of billowing smoke and like tendrils of black like stardust, which could have like imitated the shroud, and like it could have been really, really cool. But no, he chose sentiment instead, and like chose one of these dresses that she like liked before. But like it could have been magical and like supernatural, and she could have had this, like it's already magical and supernatural, but they just chose like a random dress that she liked before. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's okay. But it was literally right there, where instead it said, and she emerged from it wearing the dress that a cane had brought her. Just, it didn't do it. But I did see, I'm not sure if this is even the same dress, because I swear it was like kind of different, but I know that in this one we get an image, which I showed in the other one, but we get a beautiful, beautiful image, yes, of her in that dress. And I know this is probably definitely spoilers, but the dress is gorgeous. The dress is beautiful, but I don't even know if this is the same dress. Like, I don't think it was really described like that. Maybe it was, but still, it could have been really, really, really cool. And I know, sorry if that, I don't think it spoils anything. It's like she's with rocks. I don't know how much that can tell you. But yeah, like the dress, you could have, it's okay. It's okay. So this book was Emily and Sandy's favorite, and now like I can see why. I get it, I do. Because with like Tress of the Emerald Sea, which I thought would be both of their favorites, because that was like the first one that he wrote for her and everything like that. And I think with that one, he like completed it in secret, and then he like left it on her bed when it was done kind of thing. And that was this present for her and this like secret surprise that he, made for her. But with this one, he actually sort of like, he sat her down and he was like, hey, what do you like reading? What do you want to see in my work more? And she's been such a champion of like, she's always wanted to see more romance in his work. Yes, we love Emily, we stand, because he writes characters so well. But like having that like romantic subplot, it keeps me there. It keeps me invested in his work, when otherwise I'm like, it's just blood and guts and all the fighty stuff. But like with that little bit of romance, I'm like, I can stay, I can keep here, I can stay with this is good. And so we love her for that. And it was also so many other things. And then Sandy was like, what do you like seeing in your romance? And he had it more of a think about what he likes seeing in romance. And so this was very much their project that they made together of like, what do you want to see? And I think this one was the one where he did it by like chapter, and they discussed it, and it was this really like shared project. And that's what makes some books your favorite books, because of who you get to share them with and who gets to be there for the creation of them. And a lot of this book was about like the audience that you have for your work and your art and your writing and everything like that. And you can just see how much Sandy cares about the audience that he's created for himself, like, and all the readers that love him. But it's also like, you can tell that the main person that he writes for is Emily and his close friends. And it's just so beautiful that he's found that support network that will constantly be there for him, and those are who he's writing for. And those kind of things are so hard to find. Like, they're so hard. Yeah, it's so hard. And he's found them, and it's beautiful, and we're completely there for it. And it's so precious. And I really enjoyed reading this book. So thank you.